So friends, let's see how to make this lovely masala oats, which you can have for your breakfast. It's really very healthy. You can also carry it in your tiffin, give it to your family for their tiffin. So let's see how to make this. So here I've heated up a pan and I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of ghee. You can alternatively also use olive oil. Next, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of ginger garlic paste. I've just coarsely ground half an inch of ginger and about 4 cloves of garlic. You can also use the ready-made paste. Now fry this ginger garlic paste till the rawness of this ginger and garlic goes away. So for about a minute or so, just saute this well in the ghee or the olive oil that you're using. You can also use regular cooking oil. Now I'm going to add 1 light green chili that I've chopped finely. This chili is not very spicy. It just adds a nice flavor to the dish. Now saute the chilies also till they get nicely fried. Now I'm going to add 1 medium-sized onion that I've chopped fine. So fry the onion also really nicely till it becomes a little bit translucent. By translucent, I mean it changes from a pinkish color to a thicker white color. This is for beginners, of course, the tips. And now I'm going to add 1 small capsicum or bell pepper. Just to make it look more interesting and delicious, you can also add various colorful bell peppers like the yellow, the green. Now I'm going to add some carrots. So by adding all these veggies, you're making it really healthy. So you have a nice power-packed breakfast. So mix everything really nicely. You can add so many of your own vegetables. You can add, the vegetables of your choice. You can add corn, you can add broccoli. The list is endless. So now let everything get fried and sauteed really well. Now I'm going to add 1 small tomato that I've cubed and I've taken out the seeds and the pip, only the outside part, the dryish part I'm adding that. Mix all of this really well together. Or you can retain the entire tomato, the pips and the seeds and everything, but I take it out for this particular dish. Now I'm going to add some spices. So I'm going to start by adding 1.5 teaspoon of dhania powder or coriander powder. Next I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of jeera powder or cumin powder. Next I'm going to add half a teaspoon of turmeric or haldi powder. Next goes in 1 teaspoon of Pav Bhaji masala, which makes this really tasty. You can use any brand. I generally use the Everest brand of Pav Bhaji masala, but you can use your favorite brand of Pav Bhaji masala. So mix everything really well together. Like I said before, you can add any veggie of your choice. All veggies, whatever you generally add to your cooking, you can add in this. And mix everything really well together. And now I'm going to add some salt to taste, approximately about 1.5 teaspoon, but you can adjust it according to your taste. So mix everything well. Let the salt also get mixed in well with all the veggies. You can even add mushrooms, chopped up mushrooms, but saute the mushrooms first and then add them. Don't add raw mushrooms. Just saute them in a little bit of olive oil or ghee and then add them. Now I'm just going to cover and cook everything so that everything comes together on a low heat for 5 minutes. And now you can see how the consistency has changed because we cooked all the veggies. And here I have 1 cup of oats. I'm going to add that. And mix everything really nicely together. Now we have to cook the oats. So for that we're going to add a little bit of water. First mix everything well, let all the veggies and the masalas get really well mixed with the oats. I have lots of oats recipes on my channel. You can go and check out the recipes. And now I'm just going to add 2 cups of water. Like I said, we have to cook the oats. So add the water. You can even add warm water or hot water to fasten up the process. Again, mix everything nicely together. And then you're just going to cover and cook this till all of the liquid evaporates. So this will take about another 5 to 7 minutes. So in between, just stir once or twice. And now just mix it a bit till it dries up a little to the consistency that you like. If you like it a little bit like a porridge consistency, you can keep it that way. Now I'm just going to add some finely chopped cilantro or coriander leaves. Mix it in well. And now I'm just going to turn off the heat. And we're going to add some lemon juice. So I've taken the juice of half a lemon. You can add it as per your taste. But adding the lemon juice just elevates the flavor of this lovely oats, masala oats. And that's it, guys. Just mix in the lemon and your lovely masala oats is all ready to enjoy. So I hope you give this lovely recipe a try. So friends, let's start with today's peas and potato bhaji. Now here I have about 4 light green chilies, 10 cloves of garlic, an inch of ginger, a cup of green peas, 3 small potatoes, and 1 teaspoon each of pepper powder and cumin powder, and some salt to taste. So I'm going to start by making a coarse paste by adding the green chilies, the ginger, the garlic, a little bit of salt, my pepper powder and my cumin powder, and I'm going to grind all of this to a very coarse paste. Now transfer the paste to a separate bowl, and we're going to use the masala water, which is just the water that we're going to clean up the mixer with also. We're going to use that. So now I'm going to peel the boiled potatoes and I'm going to chop them up into small cubes. Now to boil my potatoes, I put them in my pressure cooker for 1 whistle on high with some water in it, and then I've simmered it for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now I'm going to heat 1 tablespoon of oil in a pan. Once my oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add this coarsely ground paste, and I'm going to fry this paste really well for about 2 to 3 minutes till I get the lovely aroma of the fried paste. So this will give you a lovely aroma of some pepper, some cumin, the green chilies, the ginger and the garlic. Now I'm going to add just about 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric or haldi powder. Mix everything in well. And then I'm going to add the green peas. Now you can use fresh green peas, or you can use the frozen peas, whatever is available. Mix everything well together. Now if you're using the frozen peas, you need to thaw them, or what you can do is just when they're frozen, just put them in a bowl of water and then drain the water after 2-3 minutes. Now I'm going to add the boiled potatoes, which I've made into cubes, and I'm going to mix everything very gently. We don't want to break the potatoes. Now, one trick I like to share with you here is that I always like to, if I'm making this recipe, I always like to boil the potatoes the previous day and refrigerate them. That way they become nice and firm, and so yeah, it's very easy to chop and they don't become mushy, they don't disintegrate. So it's always good if you're planning to make any recipe with boiled potatoes to boil the potatoes the previous day and then, refrigerate them and then use them the next day. Now I'm going to add this masala water. And we are going to just mix everything nicely. Now this potato bhaji goes very well with some puris, or even with some chapati or poi, or even some rice and dal. It's an excellent side dish, or as a main vegetable also. It tastes really very different from the normal puri bhaji that we are used to having. Now I'm going to cover and cook this for about 2 to 3 minutes on a very low flame. And now we're going to season it with some salt to taste and a pinch of sugar. Now remember, we already added salt when we were grinding the coarse paste. So we go a little bit easy on the salt, or you can give it a taste and see whether you need to add any more salt. And again, we're going to cover and cook this for another 1 or 2 minutes. Because we want everything to really, come together really well, all the spices. And now we're just going to mix everything gently. You might find that the spice base is stuck to the bottom a little bit. Just scrape it off. And that also adds an extra flavor to this dish, a little bit of fried masala. And it comes off very easily. And that's it, friends. Your lovely peas and potato bhaji is all ready to enjoy. Try out this recipe and let me know how you like it. Cups of whole wheat flour, added a pinch of salt and some water, and made a dough like this, which is very, very stiff. It shouldn't be like a chapati dough or a roti dough. It should be really, really stiff. And then I've kept some oil for heating. Then you got to just rub, grease your hands with a little bit of oil, and then just make small balls like this out of the dough, even sized balls, and then press them down. So ensure that your hands are nice and greased with some oil so that they don't dry up. Now our oil is heating on a low to medium heat. And now once I've rolled out, I'm just going to fry a few just to show you all on for the video. And then I'm just going to roll them out. Not too much or not too less. I mean, we don't want them very thin. They should be a little bit thick, about 1/2 inch of thickness. And ensure that your oil is also very nice and hot. And then just put them into the hot oil. And then just press them down like this so they start to puff up. And once they puff up, just turn them over so that they get evenly fried on both sides till they're nice and golden brown in color. So you don't need to add anything. It's just plain whole wheat flour with a pinch of salt. You can even skip the salt if you don't want to add too much of salt. And just add a little water at a time and make it into a very, very firm dough. And then just drain all the excess oil of the puris onto a kitchen napkin once they're nice and fried. So today we had this Tambdi Bhaji with puris, and we had some amras at hand. So we had that too. So it was a real treat. So do try out these, this recipe of Tambdi Bhaji and puris, and do let me know in the comments section below how you liked it. I would love to hear from you. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you soon. Okay friends, to make this Malwani rice, we're going to heat about 1.5 tablespoons of regular cooking oil in a pan. Here are some raw peanuts. I've taken about 1/4 of a cup. You can take as per your choice, or you can totally drop off the peanuts if you don't like peanuts. Now we're going to fry these peanuts till they turn a nice golden brown. This really adds an amazing flavor to the Malwani rice. So we're going to fry them for about half a minute. Since the oil is nice and hot, they brown up very fast. Remember to cook on a low to medium flame, never cook on a high flame. So now the peanuts are almost a light brown. And so we're going to take them out and keep them aside. Now in the same oil, we are going to use our normal fodni sahitya, or the stuff that we use in our normal Indian cooking. So there goes in half a teaspoon of mustard seeds or mori or rye, followed by half a teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera. Then goes in half a teaspoon of hing or asafoetida, followed by half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi powder. Now I've taken about 2 dried red chilies and 1 green chili slit into 2, a light green chili, followed by some curry leaves. We're going to give all of this a nice mix and a nice fry till the chilies are nice and fried. Now to this, I am going to be adding the rice. Like I said in the introduction, either you have some leftover rice, or like here I've prepared some fresh rice, parboiled some basmati rice, but let it cool down for about 15 to 20 minutes completely, so that all the grains are separated. And I've also put a little bit of clarified butter and ghee, just half a teaspoon, just sprinkled it all over the rice. Now we're going to give this a good mix so that the rice is completely coated with our fodni or the bagar. Now once this is completely mixed well, we're going to add our fried peanuts. Now this goes in the Malwani masala as per your taste, whether you like it very spicy or you like it mild, and some salt for seasoning. Now we're going to give all of this a nice mix so that the Malwani masala coats all the grains of rice well. This is an extremely delicious dish. You can serve this with some fried papad, roasted papad, some raita, or even some salad at the side, like some chopped up cucumbers, tomatoes, and some pickle also. Now we're going to cover this and we're going to cook it for about 2 to 3 minutes. Stirring in between once or twice. This helps to get everything well incorporated together. Now we're going to garnish it with some freshly chopped coriander or cilantro leaves. Again, give it a mix. And now we're going to turn off the flame and we're going to squeeze some lovely lemon juice. So this is a very tangy, spicy and just extremely delicious rice. So there goes in some freshly squeezed lemon. You can add the lemon or you can drop the lemon again depending upon your liking. And again give it a nice mix so everything gets well mixed and everything is well coated, and our Malwani rice is all ready to serve. I hope you like this short and sweet recipe. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon in another video. Take care. Chicken burgers, and I've used whole wheat paos. They're easily available now. Otherwise, you can use regular pao or you can also use regular burger buns. Now, the recipe is very simple and it gets ready also very quickly. So let's begin and see what we need for this recipe. So what I've done is I've taken a large pot and I've added 2 tablespoons of oil. Then I've added about 450 grams of mince. Now I'm using chicken mince. And to that I've added about 2 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste. Sauteed it well. Then I've added 1 tablespoon of pepper powder. Then I've added I've fried it well. And then I've added some turmeric powder, about 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi powder. And then we're going to add a little bit of salt to taste. And last but not the least, we're going to add the juice of half a lemon. And once we've mixed everything together, we're just going to cover this and we're going to cook it for about 5 to 10 minutes till the chicken is nice and cooked. Now, after the chicken is cooked and it has come to room temperature, we're just going to drain out all the excess water. Now, you can use that water as a stock for any other recipe. Now, once our chicken is nice and cooled down to room temperature, we're going to transfer it to a large bowl. To this, I'm going to add about 3 or 4 slices of bread. I'm using brown bread slices and I'm going to just mash up everything well. Now in a pan, I'm going to put some oil and then I'm going to saute 1 medium onion and 1 light green chili till it is nice and fried. Now once our onion and chilies are well fried, we're going to add 1 teaspoon each of cumin powder as well as coriander powder, and we're going to mix that well. Then I'm going to be adding half a teaspoon each of garam masala and pepper powder. Now to this keema or this mince, I'm going to add a little bit of chopped coriander and this sauteed onions. Once everything comes to room temperature, I'm going to add some salt and I'm going to mix up everything well. And as a binding agent, I'm going to add 1 egg. And then I'm going to mix everything very well together. Now I'm going to take some breadcrumbs in a plate. And I'm going to just roll this mixture in the breadcrumbs and form them into a patty. And again roll them and then keep these patties aside. So you can make these patties and then you can put them in an airtight container and keep them in your refrigerator. They last for about 2 or 3 days. And you can fry them whenever required. Now, if you don't want to go with the burgers, what you can do is you can also just put them in a chapati or puri, just sprinkle some lemon juice on top and sprinkle some chaat masala or Frankie masala and just a little bit of onion and you have a Frankie also ready. So this is a very versatile dish. So this is in slow-mo where I'm showing you how to form the patty. So once that is done, we're just going to heat some oil in a pan and we're going to shallow fry these till they're nice and golden brown on both sides. And then once the patty is ready, I'm going to show you how to assemble this burger. It's very, very simple and very, very easy. I've prepared a small mix of mayo, tomato ketchup, and some Tabasco sauce. I've browned up the buns or roasted them on the pan. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a layer of this mix. Then I'm going to put some lettuce leaves. Then I'm going to put one of these chicken cutlets and an onion ring, and then just put the top of the bun, and your burgers are all ready to go. So for our tutti frutti cake, first I'm going to lightly brush my cake tin. I'm using a 5 by 5-inch cake tin. I'm going to just brush it with some butter, and then I'm just going to line it with my butter paper. Since it's a round cake tin, I'm first going to cut the base, and then just whatever paper is left, just do the edges too. And then I'm going to just brush the base of it again with some little bit of butter and set this aside. Now I'm going to separate 3 eggs. Now I'm going to add half a teaspoon of vanilla essence to the egg yolks, and I'm going to whisk it really well. Now I've taken 125 grams of powdered sugar, and I'm going to add half of it first and then whisk it in well with the egg yolks and the vanilla essence, and then all the remaining powdered sugar, and whisk it for about 3 minutes till you get this very pale yellow, almost pale white color, and then set that aside. Now we're just going to whisk the egg whites till they're nice and foamy, and now we're going to add this yolk, vanilla essence and sugar mixture to the egg whites. Now whisk it all well. Now I'm going to add 125 grams of butter, which I've kept at room temperature, and again mix that in well. Now I'm going to add 1/4 cup of milk and half a teaspoon of baking powder. Once that is all done, I'm just going to add 125 grams of plain flour maida, a little at a time, and now I'm going to fold it in. And now set this aside. Now I've taken about 50 grams of tutti frutti, and I'm just going to take 4 tablespoons of corn flour, and I'm going to just roll it in the tutti frutti. What happens is that this will evenly let the tutti frutti spread around the entire cake, and it won't just sink to the bottom. So this is a very important step. Just roll the tutti frutti into some corn flour. Now preheat your oven to 200 degrees for 10 minutes. And pour this into our prepared cake tin. Just tap it down a bit. And now we're going to bake this at 200 degrees Celsius for about 20 minutes. Now our cake is all ready, but let it cool completely.
So friends, let's see
now we're going to
this
check
delicious
if the cake is
onion
done. So
ring
just insert a
recipe.
knife,
Now I'm taking
and if it comes out
large
clean, your
onions
cake is
for this
done.
recipe.
And now it's time to
so I've taken
demold
about
it
4 or 5
once it has
onions.
completely
We're going to wash
cooled
them,
down. So
peel
just
them,
roll a
and
knife
then
with
using
the,
a very
the
sharp
edges so that it
knife, cut
loosens
them
up.
into about 1
And
inch
just invert it
thickness,
like this, take
rounds
off all
like
your
this.
baking paper, and you can see all the tutti
So the
frutti
shape of the
evenly
onion is
spread,
also very important, so that you get
all
even
over the cake.
sized
That's
rings,
because we rolled it in
and then
corn
just
flour.
separate the rings. We're
Doesn't
only
it
going
look
to use
really
the
beautiful? And
complete
this cake is so
rings.
soft
The
and
other
so
onions you can
moist
keep
and so
aside, chop them
delicious.
and use them for
You
some
guys
other
have to
recipe.
give it a try.
Now this is a really delicious starter or snack. Amazing, especially on the weekends. You don't want to make something really elaborate, and you just want to have something delicious and quick. This is really great. So now we're going to set this aside, and we're going to make the batter for these onion rings. Now here I have half a cup of maida or plain flour, 1/4